So in this video, I was going to talk about the process that I'm using and the steps that I'm taking and the things that I did right and the things that I did wrong in an effort to try and paint these really cool, mysterious, stormy, eerie, crazy backgrounds. But I think what I'm going to talk about instead is a recent shift in my mindset that has absolutely helped me dramatically improve as an artist in this past year. For the most part, this is all going to be about philosophy and mindset, so bear with me. So this whole mindset thing, as I'm painting, especially recently, I've started to notice how the more I paint, the more willing I am to let go and just like not worry about the end result of whatever I'm working on. And, sometimes the opposite of that is true. I catch myself stressing out over something or hoping it's going to turn out good or not wanting to mess it up once I lay down something that feels good or looks good, right? And I've been watching a lot of videos of other painters. I always am like studying other people, trying to improve. And one of the things I've noticed is a painter like Greg Simpkins. I've been watching a lot of his videos lately, probably every one he's ever posted. And, I just think the guy's brilliant. He's super talented. And I guess the thing that stood out to me with his work is that when he paints a background, even just watching him paint backgrounds, it's clear to me that he has a good sense of what the outcome is going to be. He knows the techniques he needs to use to achieve certain things, but it's also clear that he got that way due to experience, right? He has painted a lot. And not only has he painted a lot, but I can just imagine he has, and he's even kind of, I think, mentioned this before, where, he's just been willing to try things and mess stuff up and really just work the paint. And he even described one of his videos, painting backgrounds like this, where he just badgers the paint, and that's the way he described it. And that makes total sense to me, right? I think that you get really good at those kind of things from putting in the reps. Like, you just have to work at it, and you just have to practice, and you have to, as they say, you have to break some eggs to make an omelet, right? You have to not be afraid and try some things and mess up and just be willing to push through that. And I'm at a place, and recently I think I've come to a place where I've just been more able to maintain that mindset and to go into these things not trying to be too perfect or not trying to worry as much about what the outcome is going to be, but be more focused on learning something in the process. And I think I'm seeing the results of that, and that perspective is really bearing fruit for me, if you will. So maybe this is something that a lot of you have already figured out, and that's cool. As much as this channel is about me trying to help other people along their creative path, it's also about just documenting what I'm going through in my journey for myself, and a way for me to look back on things and see how much I'm progressing, what my trajectory is, where I'm headed as an artist, where I've been, where I'm going. And it's an interesting way for me to communicate with others and share in this process. And so, maybe this is, like I said, something that everyone's figured out. And, I think I've experienced this in other ways. I was thinking about it. This is really kind of strange, but when I was a kid, I was able to, I could ride my bike on the back tire for like half a mile. Like, I could pop a wheelie and just ride my bike for as long as I wanted. And that wasn't something that happened overnight. And it definitely wasn't something that I felt like I was born to do. That came through hours and hours and days and weeks and months and even maybe years of practice and trying to learn that skill. And I fell and I hurt myself and I broke my bike many times throughout that process. And, there's been other things like that throughout my life. And it's like, for some reason, I never really fully made the connection that with painting and with art, it's kind of the same thing, right? Like, if I'm going to get really good and get really good control and master these techniques and get to the point where I can consistently produce things that feel very similar to what I want them to feel like, it's going to take that kind of work, right? It's not just going to be, maybe the 300 or 400 or 500 paintings I've done. It's going to take thousands. It's going to take just time, for me at least. And what's awesome is that I'm willing to do that. I'm willing and more than willing. I enjoy it. So I'm super excited about taking this as seriously as I do and finding time and making time to continue to elevate my skill set and see what I'm capable of. And so thank you all, whoever has been out there listening, whoever's coming along with this, with me on this journey. Hopefully some of this is resonating with you all and makes sense and is helping in some way. Let me know. I really do appreciate the comments and the feedback, and it helps me make sense of it all too. So thank you all for joining me. Take care. Peace.